settled into this game, got a ton of snaps, saw the field very cleanly, got the ball out of his hands. There was a lot that was within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, kind of what take what the defense is giving to you. But the way that he saw the field and cleanly operated, I think that was a really good start for him.
It feels like the question, and we'll be a little more deep into this one a little later, Nick, but the question is, where are the flaws with the vulnerabilities with the
Did I get the wrong clip?
Should the quarterback get hurt, they'll be depending on this guy who started so few college games.
Yeah, the age and experience of their starting quarterback could be a bit of a detriment, and the youth of their potential backup quarterback, that could be the challenge. So finding ways to make sure Simpson is ready, because this season, they're going for a championship, obviously, with the addition of Myles Garrett. If they lose their quarterback, that could be all up in smoke.
Plus Aaron Donald, who we'll get to in a minute here. Meanwhile, Graziano, you get the flip side. Give me a loser from the opening weekend of the preseason.
I felt like the Atlanta Falcons quarterback situation could...
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, all of the Cowboys.
I rewound it too far. I rewound it too far. Forgive me.
Ability in the slot to stay square and play this coverage. That was a big thing. Looking at Caleb Downs coming out of the draft, was he didn't have that ability. I didn't think that he could be a man-up type of guy. His ability to stay in front of these receivers. We saw him in coverage in practice against CeeDee Lamb. It gives this defense so much flexibility to be able to have a guy who's awesome against the run, awesome when you line him up in the box, and can still lock down in the slot against top-tier receivers.
So this Dallas defense, which is starting to resemble, dare I say, the 85 Bears.
Here we go.
Agreed to a deal with the
Here we go.
kid, Von Miller, on a one-year contract. Miller, the pride of DeSoto High School in the Dallas suburbs, played college ball at Texas A&M. He's a Texas kid, and he comes into this season with more career sacks, 138 and a half, than any active player in the NFL. So let's just say it. Yeah. This Dallas defense, which was the worst in the NFL all of last year, has made unimaginable additions. Look at the players they've added. We talked about Caleb Downs just a moment ago. They traded for Rashawn Gary. They re-signed, they lock up Quinnen Williams, the man in the middle, who's a terrific player. The draft picks of Malachi Lawrence, who also should not be forgotten in all of that. And now they add Von Miller, who you may think, oh, he's old, he's done. He had 9 sacks last year. So this feels to me like it could be a significant addition to a defense that feels like it should take marked steps forward.
It's a good addition. At this point in his career, 37 years old, Von Miller is a guy that plays about a third of the team's defensive snaps, but he has a role. You mentioned the 9 sacks for Washington last year. Obviously, that's significant. This is a young defense, a first-time coordinator who's also young. Like, there's a lot of inexperience on that side of the ball. Von Miller coming in to join this group can only be a positive on the field and off. And I believe it says something about the improvements that Dallas has made on defense that he even wanted to go beyond that team.
I think it's a huge impact situationally. He had 9 sacks last year. He also only rushed less than 250 times.
Yeah.
The Cowboys had 9 sacks on third down last year as a team. Von Miller had 9. And so for a team that is going to score a ton of points on offense, more than likely have the opportunity to have some leads in the fourth quarter. This isn't the Rams signing Von Miller of 6 or 7 years ago, no. But this is situationally having a pass rusher that now you can pair with certain guys. Remember the addition of Malachi Lawrence that you mentioned in the first round as a rock.
Don't forget,
into year 2 as a pass rusher as well. So having Von Miller on that team with those 2 young players coming from the division, being with them for the whole season, I think this is a meaningful addition in Dallas.
He has a Hall of Fame name, and he certainly still has that Hall of Fame level get-off, but he's a role player now. He's a situational player. I think accounting for the leadership that he offers to the young guys is something that I didn't consider, but I think you're right. In certain situations, you put Von Miller out there, he's going to get the attention of the defense, of the offense. And if they don't pay attention to him, he's going to get sacks. I don't think it changes how good or bad this defense is as a whole, but Dan's right. In certain situations, you need a guy to close the game out. You need a guy to put pressure. You need a guy to draw a double team. He's a guy who's going to be out there with a few snaps being explosive and impact.
You know what he is? You know, sometimes you go to a restaurant and you have a great meal at the very end. They bring you just a little something at the end. Right, a little.
They just bring you a little something at the end. My voice is half gone, so understand we'll do the best that we can because the show must go on. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I got James Million in the house. What's up, James? Karen Dugard. Shout out to Karen Dugard. I appreciate all the love for Joe Boo. We got Clint in the house. We got QAna, Miss Gibson in here. We got Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. We got Alan Williams. We got the Dirty Nasty Sanchez. We even got Game Time, Brian. Game Time, I should have had you call in, my man. We got the lovely and talented Holly Pierce, who has had possums. You know, Holly, you could have had possum pie in the house, you know, right there. Patty in the house. What's up, Patty? How are you doing? Little Gerald, I farted deeply. Okay, so we got kids in the house. Bry Guys in the house. JD, what's up in the house? Thresher's in the house. Let me go up to the top. Jesse's in the house. Who's not here in the house? We got Clay Lewis, Logan Motorsports. We've got Miss Gibson in the house. We got Zach, Commander fan. Mark laughed at you getting Von Miller. You laughed at, yes, I did. I laughed because I didn't want to cry. Because Von Miller was coming off of a 0 sack the first year and an injury, a 6 sack season with Buffalo, and then he went to you guys. So yes, you did. But you know, you got to understand, Commander fan, I'm always laughing at you guys, especially that damn Momo. Chris May in the house. Lord Nova, thank you for coming on over. And let's see who else. We got Big Spank Dog with the big eyes. Shout out to Big Spank Dog, who's been a little tame lately. You know, Big Spank Dog, would you actually like to come here for a game? I know you're not that far away. You know, we got the TV. We can leave you out here and we can go party inside, because if you want to end up acting like Momo, we can leave you out here in the cold. All right, so before I get into the Dallas Cowboys and Von Miller and everything, I feel the need to bury someone here. And that's Dan, you're lousy. Dan, you're lousy, you suck. I want to start this with the roast of Dan, you're lousy. Let me remind you, the expert on ESPN, this was one of the highlights of his career.
10. Here comes Jared Allen, and he's out of bounds. Poor guy, I don't even know if he realized it. And that's a safety.
Well, so much for me calling him savvy, because he had no idea where he's on the field. Tough situation, but you just can't do that. You have to realize, and you can see him, he didn't even know he was out of bounds. Tough situation for a young quarterback, but you always got to be aware, Ron, of the situation, where you are. But listen, I mean, being on the 1 yard line, having to throw it to your end zone 3 times in a row, tough spot to be in.
It goes back to the drop ball by Johnson.
You got to be aware of your surroundings. Mind you, it even got worse because they lost that game 12-10. He scored the winning score for the opposition. So Dan, you're lousy, who is the worst. I'm sorry. I think the most overrated player in the NFL is Justin Herbert. Listen to this bullshit here.
See West as definitely a Super Bowl favorite. One team that's right there, and then one who has the best player that most of us have ever seen. You know, and so like that's a part of this. Yeah.
Sorry, the one that's right there was supposed to be the Chargers, the team that hasn't won a playoff game yet. Okay, got it. Okay, keep going.
I understand all the people that like to dunk on the Chargers and that think I'm a Chargers homer. I'm from Connecticut. I live in Connecticut. I couldn't care less about being a Chargers homer. But this team did go to the playoffs last year with us playing for them in many ways. They were absolutely decimated by injury and still found a way. Everyone who hates on Justin Herbert, and there's some validity too that he has not played his best ball in the playoffs. We could say that about a couple quarterbacks as well, but he still got them there while being decimated by injury. So like maybe he hasn't been Patrick Mahomes. He's still a freaking awesome player.
Amen.
I just feel like we have watched this Chargers team change coaches, have injuries every single year. Justin Herbert have his ups and downs, and yet still we're like, this is the team to beat every single year, and they have yet to show us in the most important moments. Forget the playoffs, in game.
The greatest quarterback we've ever seen, Justin Herbert? Are you, wait a minute, You're supposed to have credibility with that take. The greatest quarterback that most of us have ever seen. Dan, you're so far up his ass, it's not even funny. He came up with the 7 matrix of things that quarterbacks do. This is another, okay, here's a response to this because his ass is getting clowned right now. Let's go to it. I love this. I love it when he gets hit.
NFL QBs by trait.
By trait.
Now,
What?
I already don't love that. So we're talking.
I saw 1 and 2. What's the trait? Fucking blonde locks and blue eyes? Fuck. Continue.
They let him put his 1 through 10 in NFL quarterbacks at, I don't know, a bunch of pre-designed scouting traits.
Traits. Okay.
We keep it strong at arm strength. Number 1 is Josh Allen. I know it's going to shock you. Number 2 is Justin Herbert.
Dude, Justin Herbert is so great. He requires no criticism for anything ever.
Yeah, I did not open this article thinking Dan might have a point. I wouldn't have even been dumb enough to hope that. Caleb Williams has the best arm in the NFL. It's not a question. Ball placement. The first 5 quarterbacks on this list are white.
The first 5 are way more quarterbacky.
Very quarterbacky guys.
Very quarterbacky guys, those first 5.
I will say Sam
Very
Darnold finally
quarterbacky.
getting on a goddamn list. Happy for him.
The only way to get him on the
Yeah,
list, ball placement and quarterbacky. Let's look at Dan
Quarterbacky.
Orlovsky's all-top quarterbacky list.
Okay, you want to know who's the best at mechanics?
Yeah, who's quarterbacky on this one?
Matthew Stafford. Number 3 is a real winner.
Daniel Jones.
Baby. The mechanics on Daniel Jones.
Oh,
Also,
God.
have you know that Patrick Mahomes is nowhere on the mechanics list. Patrick Mahomes has missed out on
Oh,
mechanics.
God.
He's got none of it. Okay. Decision making with the football. Mr. 4 turnovers in the divisional round himself, Josh Allen.
We did it, baby. Number 1.
Pocket presence.
This is the fucking funniest first I've fucking seen.
The number 1
Oh,
pocket
shit.
presence quarterback in the NFL, bear in mind you watched all the playoffs and the Super Bowl last
Drake
year,
May.
is Drake May. After all this, second reaction ability. Bo Nix and Brock
Oh,
Purdy
God.
rank above Lamar Jackson in second reaction ability, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Wow.
in my life.
Well, you got to give him credit. He made sure he gave Lamar number 1 in one category.
Rushing ability. Look at
Oh,
number
wow.
46.
Fuck me.
Justin Herbert over Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
Would
wow.
you like to hear the difference in their rushing stats, just real quick?
I know
Let's
it,
hear
but
it.
I would love to hear it.
Oh, God.
Great. So they both came into the league in 2020, so this is a perfect comp.
It really is perfect.
Rushing attempts, 376 for Justin Herbert, 779 for Jalen Hurts. Justin Herbert has rushed for 1,715 total career rushing yards. Jalen Hurts has 3,554. Herbert has 15
Doubled it.
rushing
Oh,
touchdowns.
shit.
Jalen Hurts has 63. I used to think that it was rage baiting. I used to think that it was like, oh my God, like this guy just knows what's going to get clicks. That's actually just a white supremacist, and that's how they rank quarterbacks.
Ooh. Uh-oh. I didn't hear that part of it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's move on here to the Dallas Cowboys. We had a great practice today. We've got a bounce in our step, and Barham is back at practice today. So we're getting healthier, and we have not had the major hiccups that other teams had, like Jackson Dart being jacked up, laying on the field, and going to the blue tent in preseason. Their running back, oh damn, why can't I think of his name? Shit. Yeah, Scatterboo was kind of scatterbooed all over the field earlier today, and there's concerns about him. So far, we have not had the dreaded soft tissue injuries, and we have been in great shape. Oh, we ended up signing a guy yesterday. Let me think. Who was that guy? Wait, I remember. Hold on. Let me think for a second here. We signed a 37-year-old Von Miller who's got 138 sacks to his career. Now, here's the question, okay? I have a poll going on where Eagle fans, and now Commander fans too, Commander fans are laughing too. Eagle fans are saying, in fact, Rob A said, didn't he date one of the Golden Girls? Yeah, he might have. He might have. Hey. But I'm looking at him, and here's what I'm going to say about the whole Von Miller situation. Von Miller is finally healed from the injury that he had in Buffalo, his first year there. Dem Boys Kicks, what's up? How are you doing? Adrian Ramirez, what's up? How you doing, Adrian Ramirez? El Yepa, Old Man Gloom Miller, laugh out loud. You know, I tell you what, you Eagle fans, y'all keep laughing. But the funny thing is that offense you have is no joke. That offense was pretty putrid. I know it was just the backups. But if that is your play caller's first play calling and trying to get his team ready, and your defense, your backups, almost 500 yards you gave up in a preseason game, you might want to worry. Instead of being here laughing at us Cowboys, you might want to focus in on your team because they looking like some bullshit. Your drafted guy, now, I'm not to get on to the Eagles, but your guy, Mekhi Lemon, I don't know if you're going to be able to make lemonade out of that guy. Has he gotten back out on the field yet? I got a good report on our second number 1 draft pick. Mekhi Lemon actually had a pretty good game. Caleb Downs, people didn't think that he could lock down a guy one-on-one. I said Caleb Downs. I'm sorry, Mekhi Lawrence. Mekhi Lawrence. Damn. Malachi Lawrence, excuse me. Damn. I've been out in the sun working, y'all. You got to understand that. Broken Halo, what's up? Holly Pierce. Hey, Jeff. G Money in the house, what's up? Mark, it's backups, Mark. Come on. Yeah, but here's the thing, though, about the backups. I'm going to say what we had. Okay, I'll tell you what, Logan. I get it. It's backups. But you still don't want to look pathetic because at some point, those backups are going to have to play. And it wasn't all backups. If you're honestly telling me you don't have some concern, Philly 500 did a video and said, we need to play our starters this week. He's clearly hitting the panic button right now. Okay? Now, I get it. If your starters, Logan, were playing great in practice and lighting it up, I'd say, okay, you're right. Now, I can say, let me give you a taste. Let me ask you this, Logan. Let me ask you, I've been looking for these highlights. They must be holding them because I ain't seen ones like this. I ain't seen these. Boom. The highlights I've been seeing from the Eagles is Jalen Hurts throwing short. Or wait, have you had any like this one? Huh. To Kayvon Turpin. Huh. Huh. So let me say, okay, so hold on. Let me make sure I got this straight. So our starters in practice, not the game, not the game that we love. Our starters in practice, my quarterback, I ain't seen the ball on the ground. I ain't seen interceptions. I see more touchdown passes to everybody. I've seen my defense actually showing up and doing some good things, something we didn't do last year. To give you an example, Matt Everpuss's defense last year, shout out to Game Time. Tay Cowboys in the house. What's up, Tay? We had 19 missed tackles in our first preseason game last year that we lost, right? 19. You know how many missed tackles we had on Saturday? Goose egg. 0. Zilch. Zingo. Nada. Nothing. No missed tackles. That's the most incredible. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you won't see plays like that in practice in Philly. Do you even have any wide receiver? You can't even get your number one pick on the field, bro. Mekhi Lemon. And your guy that's taking over for A.J. Brown, is he still dealing with the hamstring issue too? Oh, I'm just checking. I'm just asking for a friend. Because, see, you Eagle fans that are over here trolling us, I guess you're getting your last digs in. Because it looks like you're on the fucking Titanic right now. And you might want to take a slice of humble pie. Because I get it. As much as you guys tell us your Super Bowls don't matter because they're in the past, guess what, mother humpers? Your Super Bowls are in the past. This is a new season right now. And what have you done for me lately, as Janet Jackson would say? Jess, you're right. It's preseason. But you know what? You get a little taste. You get a little taste. And right now, my Cowboys seem to be getting a bit on track. That's all I'm saying. I'm not the one that's calling the Super. Oh, we going to Super? No. Listen to what I said. You Eagles that are in here trying to troll and talk shit while your team and your house is burning down. It's burning down, motherfuckers. It's burning down. If you do not see the problems on your team right now, then you're blind. You can't see. You need to get some glasses like DMC, okay? Yep. I'm telling you, you might want to look at your team because they're looking like some bullshit right now. Eagles offense is going to be ass, not better. Yeah. And you guys had a long ways to go. But before we get in a little deeper, you know what? I'm going to deal with the Eagles later on. Okay, we got all season to deal with them because they're cruising for a bruising. You will not see the same team next year because y'all gonna be tearing that motherfucker up. I'm calling it now. Your GM has no problem with tearing it down and starting all over, and this season will be a disaster. I'm calling it right now. Mark it down, write it. Here it is, August 17th. At 9:23, go ahead, mark it, write it down, clip it, save it, pass it on to your friends. The Eagles are cruising for a bruising. They're going to struggle this year. Book it, save it, keep it, and remember who told you that shit. Mark fucking Holmes told you. All right, moving along. Here's the thing with Von Miller. And let me say thank you, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, for you doing the ultimate disrespect to the football gods by laying your ass on the training table with one leg hanging off and going the fuck to sleep. Basically saying, I don't give a rat's ass about this shit. I'm only here for the drama and the fucking money. Pay me, bitches, because I'm a god. Thank you for that freaking arrogance. Thank you for actually pissing Jerry Jones. I've got a sore. I think it's the cat. I think I'm allergic to the fucking cat. I've got a sore throat, and I'm trying to make it through this. Whew. I'm trying. I need a cough drop. But thank you, Micah Parsons, for doing what you did, because what you did was you gave Jerry Jones a villain and guidance on what to do and awoke that sleeping giant. Because Jerry Jones, you know what? When you got the kind of money that Jerry Jones has, you got fuck you money. He could have paid Micah Parsons. But see, people with that kind of money, I remember Coach Oslin had a story. I don't know if it was true or not. But he said the parking lot was pretty full. And there was one parking space. And this old lady was trying to get in there. And this young dog, he zips in there real quick. And he yells out the car and says, "That's what you get when you're young and quick." And the old lady took her Mercedes Benz and she floored it and ran right into the car parked in the parking space. And she screamed out the window and said, "Yeah, and that's what you get when you're old and rich." And that's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones basically said, like he did to Amari Cooper when he pissed him off, "I'm going to send your ass to Cleveland because I know you're not going to win. You're not going to win there. Fuck you. I don't care that I'm only getting a 5th round draft pick. It's about me being able to do that to you. Let me ruin your career." Philly D, I never said he was a savior. Didn't. And I'm going to get to what it means for Von Miller. Okay? I'm going to tell you what it means in a minute here. But Jerry Jones, it's not just Von Miller, yo. I want you to understand that, Philly D, okay? Put the alcohol down. Put it down. Stacy White, what's up? Stacy, you're not right about that. He's not practicing against a year's awful Cowboys defense. This is not the Cowboys defense from last year. The fact that Malik Hooker might get cut, who was one of our better players last year, is a major difference. We didn't have Kennan Williams here last year on that defense. We didn't have Caleb Downs here last year. We didn't have Jalen Thompson last year. We didn't have Colby Durant. We didn't even have Savon Ravel. We didn't have Overshown here. So to say we were playing against last year's defense that included Mozzie Smith, I can't say the same thing. Can't say that same thing. Can't, not at all. But for those of you who actually understand football, if you take a look at the best of pass rushers in the NFL, Myles Garrett literally had 5 fucking sacks in a game last year. 5 sacks in a game. And guess what? They still lost the fucking game. Myles Garrett broke the record last year on sacks on a shitty ass team. And it's actually amazing when you think about it, because teams are running the football against him. Teams were running the football against him. I can say TJ Watt. TJ Watt, been one of the best players since we drafted Taco Charlton. You know how many playoff wins TJ Watt's been part of? 0. Max Crosby, generational talent. Myles Garrett has been part of 1. Micah Parsons has been part of 1. So it's not necessarily about the big dog. And for you Eagle fans that are laughing right now, I can guarantee you this one. I can guarantee you Von Miller had more sacks than Jalen Phillips did for you last year that you gave up a 3rd round draft pick for. Oh shit! Don't hit him like that, Mark. You guys traded a 3rd round draft pick for Jalen Phillips, who got you 3 sacks and left. All right. You know, the amazing thing is, If you had said the Cowboys were going to let go 2 of their starting edge rushers and 1 was going to win a Super Bowl, you certainly wouldn't have said it was D-Law. You wouldn't have said it. You would have said it was Micah Parsons. You remember when everybody went through and said, oh my God, that draft pick that the Cowboys traded for, man, that's going to be the 32nd pick in the draft. That's going to be a second-round pick. They are going to the Super Bowl. Book it now. What happened? What happened? We ended up with what, the 21st pick? Or was it the 20th pick? Can't remember. Yeah. But see, Seattle doesn't have a lot of superstars. They added DeMarcus Lawrence, who added 6.5 sacks. Nobody on their team had more than 7 on that team. But the thing is collectively, if you take talent, let's say talent you can weigh, right? With Micah Parsons and the rest of the talent that we had, and you put them on a scale, this is the talent that the Cowboys had. Wasn't a lot of talent on there. We had a lot of guys that were injured with Micah Parsons. That's the problem. Micah Parsons was incredible with the fact that we didn't have an interior defensive line. We didn't have a push in the middle. And for the most part, D-Law was injured most of the time he was here. It was basically Micah Parsons. And you had a good coach in Al Harris, where you had Diggs that was good for 2 years, and a year of Deron Bland that was good in the secondary. And your offense scored a lot of points, so Micah Parsons could rush the quarterback until you got to the playoffs and you couldn't stop the run. If you were to now take the talent that the Cowboys have on defense collectively, when you add a Quinnen Williams, a Kennon Clark, the big guy in the middle that nobody can pronounce his name, when you add a Rashawn Gary, and when you add a Von Miller, when you add a Donovan Araku, a Sam Williams who might not make it on the roster, just saying. Sam Williams was a guy who played a lot last year. He might not even make it on this roster because it's gotten that much better. And a Malachi Lawrence, you add a D. Williams, D. Winters. You have a healthy Overshown. You add a Barham. If you start weighing our talent, you've got more talent overall than you did last year. Remember, we had Kenneth Murray's out here and Kyler Elam's, and we were sold on them. Hey, well, you know, those guys right there, they were drafted in the first round. We got first-round draft picks in here on this defense. First-round draft picks that were basically bust. Nobody's. Ass. That's what we had. But collectively, the sum is greater than the individual parts. And that's what I'm going to say. Right. Houston and Wheat. There you go, Papa Savage. Appreciate you. Still, courage. It's his escape route and why Dallas is sorry. Okay. So, I'm not looking for Von Miller to get 20 sacks. It'd be great if he did. I'd be happy as shit. But if you're going to tell me that, I'm trying to think of who we just cut for him. We signed from the Raiders, a guy with 3 sacks. You can't tell me that cutting that guy and bringing in Von Miller didn't make that defense better. Nope, did not. Philly. See, this is where you assholes, Eagle fans, try and take it and run. We're still in the rearview mirror of you Eagles. What I'm saying is we're getting better. And Brian Schottenheimer said, we're not done yet. If you can't, I can actually say good things about the Eagles, about what they're doing. I won't like it, but I can at least admit it. So you can't honestly look at the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not saying that they're going to the Super Bowl or to the NFC Championship game. You Eagle fans can't honestly look and say the Cowboys have amassed more talent. You can't honestly say that. Holden wasn't the only one. The let me look it up real quick here. Because we cut a defensive end. I thought it was Sheldon. Isn't it Sheldon? Something from the Raiders. I thought we cut 2 people, and I could be wrong there. But, yeah, now, and that's the second part, was Trayshawn Holden. And I'm going to say here's what I'm going to say that's also different about this team is accountability. When Donovan Araku got into a fight and started swinging in practice, shotty shots, kicked his ass off the field. You will not make dumbass plays and let a hot head hurt the team. That's accountability. Snowden, that's it. Yeah, Snowden. We cut Snowden. Thank you, Game Time. Shout out to Game Time. We cut Snowden, who was a defensive end. Snowden out, Von Miller in. You can't honestly say that was a better move? You can't say that? Are you guys, is your dick that little that you can't even admit that that's a better move, getting rid of Sheldon, who just got here from the Raiders, who had 3 sacks, which is the biggest year of his career, for Von Miller? You're honestly going to say that that's not an improvement? Then you're full of shit. Yes, I'm pissed off tonight. I've lost my voice and I'm cussing, okay? I'm trying to make every word count. The second thing, and I ain't seen this since Jimmy Johnson told the kicker to take his asthmatic ass over on the other field and proceeded to cut his ass. Cut his fucking ass. That Trayshawn Holden, damn Bucks. See, this is the problem with bright lights. Bright lights call the bugs. But I'm getting hit in the face, smacked in the face by these damn bugs for you guys, and I'm losing my voice because I love you guys that much. So the least you can do is hit the damn like button. And if you're not a subscriber, especially you crazy ass Eagle fans that come in here and troll, hit the damn subscribe button because I want to get to 140,000 subscribers. Sugar Daddy's in the house. Thomas Garrett's in the house. He cut Trayshawn Holden, who made the 2 biggest mistakes you can ever make. Gina Dallas Diva's in the house. What's up, Gina? How are you doing? You cannot ever receive a punt inside of the 5-yard line. You never do. The second thing you can't do is fumble the damn ball inside of the 5-yard line. And he made both of those mistakes. Both of them. And guess what happened today? At least he got the plane ride back. At least they were nice enough to go ahead and say, we'll fly you back home to Dallas before they cut him. At least he got a free plane ride. Accountability is happening on this team. And if you cannot see that, thank you, Loyal, I appreciate that. I'm basically setting up out here with my laptop that I use on the road because I'm still having problems with my inside unit. I'm still trying to get that together. If you cannot say, damn, the Cowboys are doing things differently. Bringing in Von Miller, that's a lot better than bringing in Kenneth Murray. That's a bigger move. Making a trade for D. Winters, that's a lot better than Kyler Elam. Trading for Quentin Williams, that's a lot better than drafting Mozzie Smith. Then you're just a hater. You just are here to be a hating ass mother humper. That's it. You can't recognize that. You know, I wanted Jordan Davis. And when Jordan Davis looked like he was eating too many donuts and not doing things, I talked trash about him. But when Jordan Davis turned things around, it was really good. I can at least say, Jordan Davis, that was a good pick for the Eagles. But you guys, like I said, your dick is so small. Little dick, needle dick, that you can't even recognize, and at least with the enemy, say, you know what? That's actually pretty good. That's actually a pretty good move. Mark, you're going to need a hot toddy before bed. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Keep Dak exactly where he is. Yeah. Well, as we go through all these sorry-ass quarterbacks out here, you see how many of these fools that keep getting drafted. You know, I remember when Joseph Cologne was telling me, a.k.a. Frank Joseph, a.k.a. Ultra, tank for Tua. We need to just tank for Tua, man. Let's just get rid of Dak and tank for Tua. Okay. Yeah. And then it was tank for Trevor. Tank for Trevor. Man, let's just lose all the games and we just get rid of Dak and we'll just draft those guys. Yeah. Okay. To give my sore throat a rest for a minute, just for a minute, we're going to check out Rich Eisen with Todd Archer talking about the Von Miller move.
Todd.
Yeah, it was something that they talked about before training camp, but it never really got really going until training camp started. It's funny, I just got off the phone with DeMarcus Ware a little bit ago, and he was telling me in his conversations with Vaughn, he said the only team that has really reached out to him during this process is the Cowboys. And, you know, he was kind of willing into the existence here by posting pictures of him on social media and stuff like that. And yesterday it finally come down. It always felt like, just from talking to people in the organization, it was going to be a when it was going to happen, not an if. And now he's going to be coming out here today. Probably won't do anything tomorrow in practice, obviously against the Saints. But he's a guy that the Cowboys really need to help their pass rush for sure.
Well, I mean, his 9 sacks with Washington last year would have led the Cowboys in 2025. So clearly, Dallas needs to get that pass rush even more stout, despite having acquired Gary and making their other moves that they've made on defense. Walk me through where you think this leaves last year's DFL most yards given up defense. Now that all the pieces of the additions and new play caller, these pieces have landed and have settled. Todd.
Yeah, it's funny to hear a lot of people say, man, if the Cowboys just finished 20th in defense, what a team they're going to have. I think the defensive guys get kind of insulted by that. Now, that would be a massive improvement, obviously, from last in the league and just about everything a year ago. But, you know, you talk to Christian Parker, you feel his confidence. You talk to the players, a full year of Quinnen Williams, a full year of Kenny Clark. You got Donovan Ezra-Rocker, the second-round pick, who's healthy. Shavon Revel, the third-round pick from a year ago, healthy. The additions that they've made, Caleb Downs, they feel like they can have a better than the 20th defense in the NFL for sure. And what this does is, and look, you're not asking Von Miller to be the Denver Von Miller, right? But you said it, that 9 sacks would have led the Cowboys. They want him to be a situational pass rusher at this point and help the guys already in the room and be a guy that a good sounding board for the guys as they try and learn what's going on. But there's a lot of confidence in what the Cowboys defense did in that first game and what they've done in practice. There have been times where Dak has looked really uncomfortable.
And that's because of the defense and not obviously because of the offense. So walk me through Christian Parker's scheme and how it fits what they've done roster-wise, because it is something he's never done before, coordinating a defense that needs to improve significantly for a team to have a chance to win it all. Todd.
Yeah, you're talking a 34-year-old guy who seems like he's been around forever. And it is funny that you say, you know, he's never called a defense in a game. It just doesn't seem foreign to him. Talking to people like that were on the sidelines at the game in Seattle, even keel the entire time, didn't ride any highs and lows of what they were doing. That's a positive sign for a 34-year-old guy. And I think what he's done, you know, you think, okay, he was with Vic Fangio. That's the defense that you're going to see stylistically. I think on the back end, that is going to be what you're going to see a lot from the Cowboys defense this year. But I think he's going to mix things up. He said in his first press conference with us, it's not going to be Vic Fangio's defense. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys defense. And you've seen Quinnen Williams sign the extension, really had an excellent practice against the Rams, blowing up a couple runs. They believe he's going to be much better in his first full season with the Cowboys. So there's a lot of optimism coming from this defense. But what's going to happen that first game against the Giants, the third game against Baltimore in Brazil, when it doesn't go well for them? That's where this team, you're going to see this defense. Do they truly trust it, or is it just something that we all feel good about here in Oxnard in August?
Todd Archer here on the Rich Eisen Show. He's chiming in from Oxnard, California. Cowboys camp for one more week, and then they're back at it in the Metroplex. So you mentioned Pickens is the best player. Has been the best player of training camp. Why? Give me your opinion on that and what this means moving forward.
I would go comfort level. Not only comfort level for the coaches and what they know, what George can do after what he did last season, but comfort level for him. He was asked, why has it been so much better here for you in Dallas than it was in Pittsburgh? And he kept coming back to, I feel comfortable with the coaches. I feel comfortable with my teammates. It seems like everybody gets them. And I think there's an element, Rich, of this is the Cowboys. They've been around these situations before where not everything turns into a big deal and everything becomes national. Well, it does become national news, but it doesn't become some earth-breaking thing. But I think everybody's kind of accepted George. He's accepted them. And you're seeing a guy really excel. And he knows, look, if he gets the contract from the Cowboys, which is what he wants, sure. And I think the Cowboys ultimately would like to do that too. But he's also showing out for all the other teams too that might want to see, okay, he did it once. Can he do it again? And can be a model citizen? I think
where I heard that
from the
before.
Cowboys' perspective, that's a good place. Jerry Jones has talked about that's a good place for them to want to be.
Yeah, we had Rashawn Gary here last week, Todd, and he was talking about, because I brought up the way that the joint practice with the Rams ended the other day, where they all ran sprints afterwards, and the Rams were like making fun of him, it seemed like a little bit, and Pickens is like, move on, like, this is none of your business. And Gary said that the players are the ones who are instituting these runs after practices, that they're the ones who are taking it into their own hands, and I found that one interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't the first time. That happened on Family Day here in Oxnard, when Shoddy had them all line up on the end line, and he called them all up. Okay, yep, we're going to go to the beach. Everybody's family meet us there. Da da da. And the players like, no, we want to run. So that's actually the second time that it's actually happened where the players have kind of led those post-practice sprints. And if you're a coach, that's what you love to hear, right? That's what you love to see.
You really do.
That these guys are taking ownership. And he's really talked about this leadership council that he's added, 11 players, offense, defense, special teams. I think for so long, Dak has been the voice around this team, and he's been like the Mikey in the Life cereal commercial, like, hey, let Dak do it. He'll try anything. Now he has other guys more than willing to stand up and be leaders and be accountable and tell people when it's not good enough. And I think that's what you've seen so far in training camp.
Where's the weakness on this team, Todd? I understand I'm mentioning a team that finished
where is the weakness?
Second to last or last adjacent in so many categories last year, but where is it? The O-line? Like what keeps the Joneses and Schottenheimer up a little bit right now?
I know we've talked about Von Miller. To me, it is still the pass rush. And until we see Von practice, I'll continue to say the pass rush. They feel confident that they've got enough guys, but it's one thing to say, oh, we've got 4, 5, 6 guys that can get you 5, 6, 7 sacks. I don't know. It's still, when the Cowboys have been really good defensively in the last, since I've been covering them, I guess, you've had Micah, you've had DeMarcus Ware, you've had these double-digit sack guys. I don't know if they have that on this defense, but if you look at Fangio's past and what he's had in Philadelphia, it's been a number of guys getting 5, 6, 7 sacks, not one guy getting 20 sacks and everybody else filling in. I'm still curious about the pass rush. You mentioned offensive line. Tyler Guyton seems to be answering the question at left tackle. I wonder if right tackle
Terrence
is a little bit of a
Steele
concern for them right now. But they have a guy in Terrence Steele that's been a starter basically since his rookie year. They feel comfortable there. But I would say pass rush, and then you go injuries. look, Dak has not played in consecutive full seasons since 2019. So that's something that is always going to be out there, especially as he turns 33. He's had some major injuries that we know of. But I would go pass rush, health, offensive line as the three worries that they should have right now.
Listen,
There
I
you
know
go.
Jerry's really feeling it as well. He should about the Micah trade looking, a year later as good as it does for Dallas. And he has every right to sit here and go, hey, last year, everyone thought I'd kind of lost it with the whole handshake thing. And now look at us now. But if, and what's he talking about? Baby formula and crap shooting and all that sort of stuff last week. That was one of the sound bites of the summer.
Okay. We'll end it right there. All right. So to answer where I said Von Miller was washed, that's a valid statement to say. I probably did say that. One, I was hating on the Commanders, okay? And Von Miller, after signing a big, fat, juicy contract with Buffalo, in 2 seasons had 6 sacks. It was not a reach to say he had 0 sacks and 6 sacks. The guy might be washed. He might be. But he had a rebound year. Here's the thing, that to say that he had 9 sacks on limited time, the Commanders sucked ass to the point where teams were running the football in the second half. You weren't passing the ball a whole hell of a lot because they were getting blown out. To get 9 sacks on 255 snaps is not bad. But here's what I look at. I say, is Von Miller at least as good as Sam Williams? Hell yeah. Is he at least as good as James Houston? Hell yeah. I don't know if he's still as good as Rashawn Gary at this point, but it's not about if he's better than. Does he elevate the room? Can he be a mentor to these young guys? He's been through everything, and I mean everything in the NFL, from PED use, other off-the-field issues, where he looked like he was a knucklehead. He turned it around, became a businessman, and now he's playing where he wanted to be. He wanted to be here before he went to Buffalo. Him and DeMarcus Ware were calling the Cowboys and saying, what's up? We'd like to get here. And the Cowboys, when you end up going out for those free agents, you're paying great money for just kind of average guys. And, I'm trying to hold on to my inheritance here. I don't want to spend it. Cat boy. But you look at this and say, for Von Miller, reasons that he doesn't want to go out looking like ass. This is where he grew up, DeSoto High School. His family is here. His mama is here. And his mama goes to every one of his games. For him, this is the dream. He's got money. He's got businesses. He's got rings. Donald, shout out to Donald, our first super chat. Shout out to Donald. We're going to add you to the drawing there, buddy. And big factor, Donald Dotson Jr., shout out to you. Got you on here. Exactly. He wants to be here. This isn't Don Terry Poe. And let me also kind of put this in another way. I don't know if Game Time is still here, but Game Time and I, a few years back, when we looked at the linebacker room and we had Leighton Vander Esch, was about it. And a bunch of guys, nobody had more than 50 tackles in their career. And we kept talking about, well, the Cowboys are going to sign Anthony Barr. We're going to get Anthony Barr. We signed Anthony Barr about this time in training camp, who was on one leg because he was recovering from an ACL. We went into the season with a guy who was literally on one leg, Anthony Barr. I'm going to say, Von Miller, the videos I've seen of him working out, he got 2 legs, and he's got motivated. And for those out there that say that old people can't play, I said last year, the Cowboys should sign Calais Campbell. And people laughed at me. They laughed. Calais Campbell, he's 39 years old. 39, he's old. He's almost as old as you are. Yo, bro, that old guy had 6.5 sacks from the defensive line. That guy had 43 tackles. Now, for Von Miller, with his time in Washington, his Pro Football Focus rating was a 64.4. I'm not saying that he's Von Miller of old. He had 36 pressures on 255 snaps and 14 tackles. If I can get Von Miller that had that Washington last year, guys, that would have been the best pass rusher we had on there last year. That's no joke. I want you to understand, we started out at the bottom of the damn barrel. We sucked. And we're rebuilding. And if you can't recognize it, he sacked Father Time last year. Thomas Garrett, let's put this together. Enough of the bull sugar. Amen on that one. Thomas, shout out to you for the super chat. And I've got Tracy working on a new shirt. And we will do a drawing on our next live stream. In fact, we'll do it Wednesday after the Dan Saleo show. We'll do a drawing for the new shirt. Marcos, we love you. Appreciate that. Spare none. Every squirrel gets a nut eventually. You got that right. Only Philly 500 can talk shit about Cowboys in here, not other Eagle fans. Amen on that one. You bring up rings, you're living in the past, man. Where have you been for 30 years? I didn't bring up rings. Cardinal fan, let me ask you this. You can't bring up rings, can you? Where you been the whole entirety of your existence, bro? Get a box of tissues next show. Dan, what's going on? What's up? Not my voice, I can tell you that. It's kind of hurting tonight. And there you go, Holly. Let him go get him. Jess Million. Max Crosby, we still need, James says. Yeah, that's. But here's the thing. I think Max Crosby last year, I think he only had 9 sacks. I'm going to say, for me, if it were me, I would go ahead and get Jaden Brooks. Try and see if I can work a deal for that. Because collectively, I'd like some more stability in my linebacker room. Honestly. And the better the linebacker is out there, the better everybody else will be around him. He'll be more productive with GOAT than he was the Washington, D.C. Eagles will only win 10 games. I'm not sure they're going to win 10 games this year. I'm going to be real with you. And you can call me a hater if you want. They're still a great team. They still have a lot of talent, but I think they got a lot of problems right now. And wide receiver is definitely going to be one of them. All right, so I think my voice is completely shot here. And can Von Miller forever fashion runway? I'm not going to say Von Miller alone is not going to get us over the hump. But collectively, if we can stay healthy and add a few more pieces, we got a chance to be good. And that's all you're asking for right now. There's no guarantees for anybody being a Super Bowl champion. Right now, you just want to be a great team and then go from there. Donald Dots, yes, Mark. Go get Jordan Brooks. Amen on that one. Shout out to you, Donald. All right, good people. I made it through with no voice. And I hate tea, but I might make some tea tonight. Get something. I need something warm on this throat. Definitely need something because I can't do this. We got too much going on with the Cowboys. Alrighty, good people. As always, Eagle fans, keep hating because that's what y'all do best. And I'm going to turn out the lights. And I appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Peace out.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.